Hey guys, so as you may know, I am a huge Pokemon fan. There's a lot of new news coming out about Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I want to talk about it. Going to mainly be focusing on the starter Pokemon because, oh my god, the starter Pokemon. Alright, so about a week ago, we got a new gameplay video for Pokemon Sun and Moon, got a release date. We got a small look at the Hawaiian-based Alola region. And of course, we got our 3 new starter Pokemon, the Grass-type Rowlet, the Fire-type Litten, and the Water-type Poplio. Now, as soon as I saw these guys, I knew that my starter would be Litten. Because, oh my god, Litten is amazing. Litten is honestly one of my favorite starter designs of all time. We've only got to see like screenshots of him in very, very minor bits of gameplay, but I friggin' love Litten. Although Rowlet also looks really, really cool, and if Litten wasn't a thing, I would definitely be picking Rowlet. He's a grass owl, which is really cool. Grass flying right off the bat, which is really interesting. The only other starter Pokemon that has 2 types in its base form is Bulbasaur, so it's been a really long time since we've had one of these. And overall, he's just really cute, and Rowlet's friggin' awesome. As for Poplio, well, it definitely seems like he's going to be the least popular of this generation. I feel like he's going to be the next Chespin. Although I do think his design is pretty cute, and I'm sure he will be a pretty cool Pokemon. But here's the thing. Right off the bat, people were speculating what these guys were going to evolve into, and very recently, like yesterday, someone found something very interesting on the Japanese Pokemon website. They looked at the picture files on the website and noticed that there were a few hidden. All of the types for the starters were image files. So for Rowlet, Grass was image 1, Flying was number 2, it skipped 3, Fire was number 4, Water was number 5, and it skipped 6. However, if you actually type in the URL for each individual picture, you can actually see icons for other types. So all 6 images are grass, flying, ground, fire, water, and fighting. Now, this is super interesting, and there is a lot to talk about here, because it is very likely that these will actually be the types for the final evolutions of these starters. So Poplio will in fact evolve into a fighting type. I'm a little bit mixed about this. I don't really know how Poplio will turn into a fighting type. He does not look like he would ever become a fighting type at all, but then again, most of the starter Pokemon that become a fighting type don't really look at it at the beginning. Also, we have had a fighting type starter since 3rd gen. Do we really need another one? I know it's water fighting, which is a very rare type combination. I believe only Poliwrath has that one. But still, I mean, do we really need more fighting starters? Now, Rowlet and Litten is when it gets really interesting. We have a ground type in the mix. And right off the bat, you would assume, well, obviously the ground type goes with Litten. Litten will become a fire ground type. But things aren't exactly that simple. You see, in the order of the images, the ground type came before the fire type. Now, the primary type for every single starter is either grass, water, or fire. And their secondary type always comes after it. So if Litten becomes a ground type, it doesn't really make sense for them to list the ground type before the fire type. So while a lot of people initially thought Litten would become a ground type, now a lot of people are starting to believe in this new theory. Rowlet is actually the ground type. Now, this is really weird because Rowlet already has 2 types, so if he evolves, then that would mean he would lose his flying type and become a ground type. This would be incredibly interesting if it happened. It's a very rare for Pokemon to lose a type and gain another one, although it has happened before with Pokemon like Scorpy. And yeah, it's definitely a first for starter Pokemon. It might also change up your strategy a bit, because that means he will lose his immunity to ground and gain an immunity for electricity. Now, you may be thinking, well, this still seems a bit far-fetched. I mean, why would they go through the trouble of giving him a flying type in the first place if they're just going to replace it with ground? It does seem a bit weird, and this will also mean that Litten will stay a pure fire type, which isn't very common nowadays. The last pure fire starter we had was Cyndaquil. Like, that was a long-ass time ago. But we did get pure grass and water starters in Gen 5, so I do believe that they could go the route of a pure fire starter. Now, I'm sure other people have made this comparison, even though I haven't seen anyone do it myself, but this is what I believe to be the strongest evidence that supports Rowlet becoming a ground type. Okay, so when you think of cats, any type of cat, lions, tigers, cheetahs, leopards, house cats, why on earth would you have a ground type cat? Cats have, like, nothing to do with the ground at all. They don't dig, they don't live underground, just nothing. They have nothing to do with the ground. So it does seem kind of weird that they would have a cat Pokemon that is part ground type. Owls, however, are pretty interesting. This is a burrowing owl. Now if you look at Rowlet, he definitely looks more like a burrowing owl than something like a great horned owl or a snowy owl. A little bit off topic, but why the crap have they not made a snowy owl Pokemon yet? Anyway, burrowing owls are given their name because they burrow under the ground and live there. So in my opinion, it makes a lot of sense for an owl Pokemon like Rowlet to be part ground type. And maybe if that's not the case, I also propose this idea to my friends: what if these starters can Mega Evolve, and you know how when Pokemon Mega Evolve, sometimes they change type. Maybe Rowlet's Mega Evolution will be part ground. So yeah, these are all some very interesting theories. Only time will tell what type the final starters truly will be, and who knows, maybe Game Freak is just trolling us and putting fake icons in the webpage so stupid people like me can make their videos. And before I end the video, I want to briefly touch on the legendaries. They look awesome. Personally, I am more of a fan of the Sun Pokemon, so I do think I will be getting that version. But the Moon Bat thing also looks pretty cool. So that was my video on Pokemon Sun and Moon. I'll probably make a couple more of these before the release of the games. Thank you so much for watching. You can discuss the new Pokemon games in the comments below. I'd love to hear what starter you guys will be picking, and I will see you guys in the next video.